Digital manufacturing implemented with Esprit for Swiss machining. Hi, I'm Tom Connolly, an engineer and technical sales representative for Esprit CAM software by DP Technology. I've spent most of the last decade working on Esprit and our solutions for some of the most complex CNC machines in the world. When visiting prospective customers, I've seen the struggles in the field, and I've seen the pain that can be caused by poor implementation of Swiss machines. It can be tough, but it does not have to be tough. Esprit CAM system by DP Technology is a full solution CAM system for programming CNC machines. That is all we do. Our agenda is to drive CNC machine tools, and we do it extremely well. Whether these machines live in medical, aerospace, job shops, or wherever, we can support them. But driving these machine tools is only part of the picture. There is so much more than just G&M code. And I don't mean to be reductionist. G&M code is incredibly important, but it alone does not complete the full manufacturing process. Getting rock-solid code that is collision-free, optimized, and formatted for your specific machine tool is vastly underappreciated, unless you know how good it really can be. Swiss-type CNC turning centers are commonly used to machine complex parts in small lots with many cutting tools in a single setup. These machines are typically 32 millimeters in diameter and less and have incredibly small footprints while using sliding headstocks, guide bushings, gang slides, and posts for tooling. But they also support secondary spindles and collinear axes. The parts run on Swiss machines are getting more complicated. And in response, the machines themselves are getting more complicated. Simultaneous 3-axis milling was complex Swiss work. Now, full 5-axis surfacing on triple-channel machines is the new complex. Even technically good code may not be great. Just because it does not throw alarms or crash does not make it a good program. You need good processes. Esprit supplies superior cycles that are industry-specific. Take, for example, advanced simultaneous 5-axis milling operations, like this impeller cycle that's cutting a full impeller on a 5-axis Swiss lathe. Esprit supports functionality to program any Swiss machine, whether it's a single channel, double channel, or even a triple channel machine. Optimizing programs by choreographing the machine's channels to eliminate unnecessary movements, reduce clearances, and synchronizing operations is not a cakewalk to do by hand. And when programming it by hand, there's not a way to prove that it is correct before sending it out to the machine. With Esprit, you have the ability to easily have 2 channels work on the same spindle, or have them work on opposing spindles. Or even with a 3-channel machine, you can do both. You can run 2 channels on one spindle and the 3rd channel on a secondary spindle, all within a verified digital twin of your machine to ensure a collision-free machining environment. Native functionality, like balanced turning, also known as pinch turning, automatically generates soft sinks that are built into the code to support all of the functionality that machine supports. You paid for a full machine. Why not use every bell, button, and whistle at your disposal to really get your cycle time and productivity where they need to be? Not to mention the tool life savings by using superior physics-based cycles like profit milling or profit turning. These are proprietary physics-based algorithms that are designed to eliminate inconsistent tooling forces, allowing you to push your tool faster and harder while never exceeding appropriate tooling forces, even in the corners. If you have confidence that the machine is correct, if you have confidence that the code is correct, then you can set up the machine without much thought. You just need a roadmap showing you how the machine is set up. What tool goes where? Guide bushing or chucker mode? What size guide bushing? Ground stock or cold rolled? Proper documentation is next to godliness. Setup time with appropriate documentation can go from 3 or more days to a day or less, even on a single channel machine. How many different configurations can you have on a single gang holding 6 tools? There are literally hundreds of different configurations and tool orientations. If even a single tool is wrong, or just the hand of a single tool, you crash and you're down again. The theme of this IMTS is digital manufacturing implemented, and I could not have asked for a better theme. This is right up our alley. From simulation, which is a virtual twin of your machine, to the physics algorithms inside of our cycles that virtually represent the physical constraints of your machine. Esprit is digital manufacturing implemented. Let's talk about cycle time. Programming optimization is not exclusive to new jobs. Think about your current contracts. Is there room for improvement? With Esprit's easy-to-use interface and superior physics-based programming cycles, you can do legacy file reprogramming. How much meat did you leave on the bone? Now you can find out. But how can you know if it's better before running it out on the machine? Time studies. Virtually run the part on your machine while using your specific machine's kinematics and accelerations. Not just linear accelerations, but also rotary accelerations. Esprit's advanced time study can use real-world behavior of your machines to predict future behavior and cycle times. Don't lose your shirt on account of a bad cycle time analysis. Always come out on top with the right tools Esprit provides. What about reprogramming a part so it's processed backwards? Is there any room for improvement there? If you have good CAM, you can easily reprogram parts to be processed either way and see what is the best choice. And be confident that that is right. There is no guessing. There are only facts and verification. Cycle times can be more aggressive when you have a digital twin of your machine. If you know your clearances and you can see them on the screen with your own two eyes, you'll have the confidence to hit go out on the machine and not spend an entire shift single blocking code at 5% rapid, air cutting half the time. A post-processor that works is worth its weight in gold. Code is critical. Without good code, simulation is just pretty pictures. CAM in general is dysfunctional. Our competitors can put up a Swiss machine simulation, it'll show a tool, it'll show a part, and maybe even some of a machine. But it's just pretty pictures. Where they crash and burn is the post-processors. Or more appropriately, that's where you would crash and burn. Posts are the keys to the kingdom of CAM. What we at Esprit have done to produce the best solutions in the world is we listened and we lived. We listened and lived inside of these environments for years, at OEM machine tool builders, at machine tool dealers, out on the factory and showroom floors of their facilities. That is the only way to build these solutions. It is expensive for us to pay full-time engineers to be stationed at these OEMs, but it is the only way. You can't just read a manual and assume you know how to run the machine frontwards, backwards, sideways, and upside down. You have to get time on the machine. Get time with the OEM's applications engineers. Get time with the biggest medical, aerospace, energy, DoD, and production shops in the world to truly understand the machines, their potential, and the challenges surrounding pushing these machines to their limitations. Our machine tool and tooling partners use our simulation to assist with their turnkeys, their test cuts, and their prospects as well. The largest OEM machine tool dealers in the world use Esprit because they know what happens on the screen will happen out on the machine, and it'll make their machine look good while doing it. Machine tool dealers rely on Esprit day in and day out to make their machines function fully, and everything in real time. All of these videos that we're showing cutting on machines are done working with the actual OEM partners on their machines. Parts are getting more complicated. Their geometry is more complex, and this is forcing machines to get more complex. Job runs are getting smaller. Setup time is more important. Programming speed is more important, and this is not a declining trend. Acceleration will continue, and Esprit continues to accelerate. These solutions also come with a manual from Esprit that is a roadmap to running your machine. You could set the same machine up at two different shops and they will run them differently. One may have a high pressure chip coolant to break chips, while the other uses a vibration-based chip breaking function. Or one uses a parts catcher and the other pushes the part through the subspindle. Or one uses a single point thread turning and the other uses a thread whirler. The post-processor manual shows you how to get that functionality out of the machine. There appears to be no end to the functionality these OEMs are incorporating into their Swiss lineup. It is imperative to be prepared. Without good posts, what are you going to do? Continue paying one guy to program, one guy to hand edit, and an operator to sit and wait for the other two guys to figure out why the machine keeps alarming out? Do you like all that bickering between programmers and operators? Is that good for business? Or even morale? Amazing documentation after you are done programming builds a roadmap for your setup team. Tooling, stock, cycles, speeds and feeds, fixturing, work coordinates, processes, cycle time analysis, tooling analysis, workload balance between heads, gangs, spindles, channels, and more are all output and represented in easy to digest data sheets, graphs, and pictures. And these are all customizable based on your specific needs. Produce a full manufacturing packet or only output what is important for your setup crew or tool crib. Other CAM companies brush right past posts, support, and setup, but we don't. If the front end is done right, setup is easy. With Esprit, there's no stitching of code, no cutting and pasting, no hand editing or fiddling around troubleshooting alarms. Simulation and the report generator create a roadmap to set up your machine tool. That is where the digital manufacturing implemented really happens. That is where the ROI lives. That is where time gets compressed if your processes are good. That is where the merit of implementing CAM is. Process control and optimization based on a digital twin of your machine and its components. You can have the best product in the world, but without good training and support, you're out of luck. Esprit prides ourselves on providing the best technical support in the industry. With an average response time of under 30 minutes, our specialists go beyond the software to understand your processes, your workflow, and your machine tools. Bring it all together and the ROI is amazing. The aggregate when Esprit shops use it is unbelievable. But if you miss one part of the solution, one chink in the armor, one missing foundation stone, everything crumbles underneath you. It falls apart and you're back to test code, edit code, test code, troubleshoot alarm, test code, replace a broken tool, test code, order a new tool block, and then keep testing. With DP technology and our team of engineers, you can be assured you will have a short-term ROI by switching to Esprit CAM. If you would like to prove it, we'd be happy to benchmark any other CAM system for your shop's machine lineup. We'd be happy to show you the Esprit solution on your type of work, supporting your challenges.